for judgment 1501. It was a great pleasure to hear submissions on behalf of all the learned counsel. We have had a tough time, but there are 4 judgments to be delivered in this matter. I'll first invite my learned brother, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, to declare his view.
With reference to the questions which we had formulated, and thereafter with reference to the submissions made by all the learned counsel, these are the 3 major issues, or rather 3 major points for determination formulation as to whether reservation is an instrument for inclusion of socially and educationally backward classes to the mainstream of society, and therefore reservation structured singularly on economic criteria violates the basic structure of the Constitution. B, as to whether the exclusion of classes covered under Articles 15.4, 15.5 and 16.4 from getting benefit of reservation as economically weaker sections violates the Equality Code and thereby the basic structure doctrine. C, as to whether reservation for economically weaker sections of citizens up to 10% in addition to the existing reservations results in violation of basic structure on account of reaching the ceiling limit of 50%. These points for determination have been dealt with reference to the relevant constitutional provisions, doctrine of basic structure and constitutional amendments. Thereafter, the segments of the judgments are expanding doctrine of equality, affirmative action by reservation, exception to the general rule of equality, economic disabilities and affirmative action, whether economic criteria as sole basis for affirmative action violates basic structure, EWS reservation not availing to certain classes, whether violates basic structure, breach of 50% ceiling of reservations and basic structure, and then there are other factors and summations. After having dealt with these aspects, the conclusions are as follows. For what has been discussed and held herein above, the points formulated in paragraph 31, I just read that, are answered as follows. Reservation is an instrument of affirmative action by the state so as to ensure all-inclusive march towards the goals of an egalitarian society while counteracting inequalities. It is an instrument not only for inclusion of socially and educationally backward classes to the mainstream of society, but also for inclusion of any class or section so disadvantaged as to be answering the description of a weaker section. In this background, reservation structured singularly on economic criteria does not violate any essential feature of the Constitution of India and does not cause any damage to the basic structure of the Constitution of India. B. Exclusion of the classes covered by Articles 15.4, 15.5 and 16.4 from getting the benefit of reservation as economically weaker sections, being in the nature of balancing the requirements of non-discrimination and compensatory discrimination, does not violate Equality Code and does not in any manner cause damage to the basic structure of the Constitution of India. C. Reservation for economically weaker sections of citizens up to 10% in addition to the existing reservations does not result in violation of any essential feature of the Constitution of India and does not cause any damage to the basic structure of the Constitution of India on account of breach of the ceiling limit of 50% because that ceiling limit itself is not inflexible and in any case applies only to the reservations envisaged by Articles 15.4, 15.5 and 16.4 of the Constitution of India.